talking now? We can't hear anything.
Okay, everybody back.
Yes.
Okay, we resume again. And then, what is this Chatu Vasaraja? The four confidence of Buddha. The significance of these four is that these four assurance allow Buddha to teach without fear or hesitation. And it is seeking a true Buddha from false teacher, especially Buddha against the Samana teachers. And even Mara, the tempter, could not challenge this claim. Remember, when Buddha under Bodhi tree, the Mara, he tried to tempt Buddha to give up, to become a Buddha. A Buddha teaches not out of arrogance, but of compassion, knowing, and his realization is unshakable. So these confidences are unique to the Sambuddha, and why the Buddha boldly declared this. Open the doors of deathless. Let those with ears to hear and place faith. Okay, that's why in Buddha teaching, he always open these statements. Other special attribute of the Buddha, you can see are the Pancha Chakku, 5 eyes, Dasa Buddha Nanda, the 14 items of Buddha knowledge, Satupatti Sambhida, the 4 analytical knowledge, and the Sabbanuta Nanda, omniscient. So what are they? Pancha Chakku, literally meaning the term combines Pancha meaning 5, Chakku eye, and translate as 5 eyes or 5-fold vision. So what's the symbolism? It refers to Buddha's supreme perceptual abilities encompassing both mundane and transcendental insight. For example, physical eye as a human is ordinary human sight. Divine eye, clairvoyant, the ability to see across realm. Buddha has this capability. Wisdom eye, insight of Four Noble Truths and dependent origination. And then the Buddha eye, omniscient, unique to the enlightened Buddha. Universal eye, compassionate perception of all being suffering. So the 5 vision is all this. So you have to remember well. Okay. Next one. Refers to advanced insight or wisdom attribute traditional associated with fully enlightened Buddha. So there are 14 knowledge. What are they? Knowledge of Four Noble Truths. Direct insight into suffering originating cessation and a path leading to cessation. Then knowledge of dependent origination, understanding this interdependent nature of phenomena. And knowledge of past life, recollection of one's own and others' previous existence. Knowledge of divine eye, clairvoyant perception of beings' rebirth according to karma. And knowledge of destruction of defilement, direct realization of the eradication of mental taints, asava. And knowledge of the very incarnation of beings, understanding the diverse spiritual tendency of individual, and the knowledge of faculty of others, discerning or knowing the other's spiritual capabilities. Number 8, knowledge of twin miracle, mastery over psychic phenomena such as emitting fire and water simultaneously. And knowledge of great compassion, boundless compassion for all suffering beings. Early morning, Buddha will scan in this world, whoever needs his help. Omniscient knowledge, the teaching Buddha's all-encompassing wisdom, to technically limited to what is necessary for teaching. This is what Buddha has. A knowledge of teaching method, anatta nanda, skillful means in guiding disciples. Okay, this is a way Buddha able to communicate well with masses. And then knowledge of unobstructed path, freedom from hindrances in understanding and teaching of Dhamma, and knowledge of the future, foresight into a future event relevant to liberation, and knowledge of cessation or defilement, the final confirmation of full enlightenment. So this one must know well. Next one. This knowledge just represents the highest level of analytical wisdom, the Panna, and we often associate with the Buddha's chief disciples such as Venerable Sariputta, which is known for possessing them. First one, an analytical knowledge of meaning, the ability to discern the ultimate meaning of teachings, including the Four Noble Truths, dependent origination, and the true nature of phenomena. So it enables precise interpretation of Sutta and Abhidhamma. That's why the Abhidhamma was transmitted to this Sariputta because he has such a capability. And then next one, analytical knowledge of doctrine, the mastery of textual and linguistic aspect of Dhamma, including grammar, etymology, and capability or to teach it faultlessly. Venerable Sariputta used this to systemize the Abhidhamma after Buddha taught it in the Tawatisam heaven. Okay, that's why only this particular disciple has this capability. So that's why Buddha passed this into to him for decipher to the masses. Analytical knowledge of language, proficient in languages and dialects, allowing communication with diverse beings. Example, devas, human, animals. Right? So Buddha has such a thing. Include understanding of symbolic expression and resolving ambiguous in speech. Remember in India, there are thousands of just called dialects. Okay? And then how to spread Buddhism. It was even though the Pali, the dialect is so much different from other that Buddha able to communicate it well and to convince many to be Buddhist. And then analytical knowledge of discernment, spontaneous wisdom in responding to questions, teaching with clarity and adapting explanation to listener capabilities. Good example is exemplified by Buddha's dialogue in text like the Malina Panaha. Okay, you can check this one. You should be able to understand this one well. So our Buddha has such capability. Next one, Sabbanuta Nanda. This is a central attribute of fully enlightened Buddha in Theravada Buddhism. It signifies the Buddha's supreme, unobstructed understanding of all phenomena, past, present, and future, as they pertain to liberation. However, this omission is not absolute in metaphysical sense, but is conceptual, lies within a framework of Dhamma and the path to awakening. So Buddha is not for show, it is to lead you to the right thing. Scope and limitation. The Buddha omniscient is function, not infinite. He knows all that is necessary to teach beings toward enlightenment, including the working of karma rebirth, the mental disposition, or what we call chitta niyama of beings, and the causal relation of dependent origination. It does not extend to 11 detail. Example, number of grains of sand in the river as clarified in this Mahina Dapana. Okay? This guy asked Buddha the number of grains in the sand in the river. And distinction from the divine omniscience. Unlike theistic concept of God omniscience, the Buddha wisdom is non-creatory. I mean, not creator God. And he himself is not claimed to be creator God. And the arise from direct insight into the Four Noble Truths and the three characteristics, the Tilakkhana. Manifestation in the Pali Canon. The Buddha Vamsa Jataka text highlight the Buddha ability to recall past life and foresee future events relevant to liberation. For future is only for liberation, not for other personal thing. So in the Digha Nikaya, the Buddha declares the knowledge of all world, Sabbaloka, in the context of suffering and cessation. attainment. This knowledge is perfected at full enlightenment, integrating then Asava Nanda, the knowledge of destruction or defilement, and then the Pube Nivasata Nanda, recollection past life, and Dika Vatu Nanda, divine eye. So this attainment, he able to achieve this. Purpose to guide being skillfully, as seen in the Buddha's tailored teaching for different disciples. You can find in this Yamaka Sutta for Venerable Sariputta. So next one, we go to what Buddha is a teacher. Okay, for this regular question, set on this. So Buddha is undisputedly a great teacher. Earned the title with his prowess, with that his strongest factor that contribute to rapid increase of new converts, and many of whom abandon their former faith through conviction. Buddha not unlike the other religion. Come the more you join, more you marry. He only wants those who are convinced to join. Okay, not those join for the purpose of joining. Ability to penetrate the minds of many listeners and modulate the themes to suit the individual level of understanding and the social background. So your wisdom and also your whether you are high caste or low caste. So you need to talk to that kind of language. So Buddha persuasive acumen was so sharp and appealing that many arrogant disputants who came vowing to vanquish the Buddha in debate finally became the most faithful followers on being convinced regarding the fallacy of their belief after listening to the Buddha. So many who challenge Buddha in this lifetime and many get defeated by Buddha and finally convinced by the Buddha and join the Buddha faith. And Buddha was obviously a model teacher. And then we will look in the special feature of the Buddha teaching methodology. Buddha had organized the discourses with meticulous, precise attention to detail or care. Right? The opening statement in the discourses are so articulated that it means speaking in clear and effective manner as to be particularly striking. Okay? That's why Buddha, who was this orator, was able to speak well. He able to capture the audience mind the moment he opened his mouth. Buddha had resort to the use of similes, good examples, analogies, by ways and means, and illustration profusely, and it is noteworthy that all of them have been drawn from the day-to-day life of the people so as to facilitate understanding. So he used all sorts and means to explain it clearly to you. Buddha had not overrated brevity and had elaborated at length many themes with repetition whenever such repetition proved to be access to the understanding. That's why when you read the sutta, Buddha always preach it 3 times. That's why you see all the sutta have 3 times. Okay? This to make sure you understand it well. 1 time, 2nd time, 3rd time. And then Buddha listened to discerning views with patience and controvert them and very necessary without ridiculing them. One outstanding feature about our Buddha. You spoke against him, he listened with lot of patience. And next you argue back with proper kind of statement that you are convincingly wrong. And then he knocked the other teacher, like the Samana, that they make them lose and try to make them lose face. Right? Buddha never do that. Buddha is a kind of a gentleman and culture person. Buddha answer all questions so long as they were relevant and meaningful and remain discreetly silent when questioned, were irrelevant or merely speculative. Remember the 10 unanswered question? That is speculative. So Buddha wouldn't want because it served no purpose. Buddha was a versatile in converting any situation to a quotient for teaching. That's why he is good at this. Okay, next, also a typical question set on this. You know how to know why Buddha as a social reformer. The statement he made, I'm awakened, I awaken others, I'm liberated, I make others liberated themselves. This is a statement which he claimed were convincing. Buddha did not confine the mission to spiritual tasks of enabling the worldlings to liberate themselves from the bonds of existence. Okay? And Buddha deliberately direct considerate attention to the task of uplifting the society in ethical standard, reducing the evils of inequality, discrimination, repression that plagues the society of the day. Remember, Indian in the Brahmin society is divided into castes, and those who are in the upper caste will enjoy all the benefit, and those in the lower one will suffer forever. So Buddha is against this, and then this is trying to evict all this from the society. But till Buddha passed away until today, the caste still remain in India. One of the social maladies of the early Indian society was the caste system, where an individual position in the society, his privileges, even his occupation, were determined by birth. This is still happening in India, and you have a chance to visit India, you can see it's clearly displayed out there. The below will serve the especially the Brahmin caste. They are fit, they are fair like this European. Buddha used the medium of discourses to enlighten society regarding the evils of social segregation based on caste. That's why many in the low caste, they give up the caste system and join Buddhism to jump out from the society. Vaseta Sutta, Buddha emphasized the equality of mankind. Okay, you need to quote all this when you answering this essay on this social reformer, especially in mankind, the quality when you are like a slave, you can never climb out. So Vaseta Sutta in Buddha emphasize that outcast is also a human. They are not equally bad compared to a Brahmin. So Vasala Sutta give a new interpretation to the concept of outcast. There's one in India, even worse. Out of the four castes, these are the worst. They only come out at night, and their jobs, they do all the dirty work at night. Okay. Next one, Asukari Sutta and Asalayana Sutta. Both discourses Buddha denounced the caste system. Okay, you go further study in your degree level, all these sutta will come in. Okay, you need to know and understand how to use this sutta to apply to the modern society. Buddha's teaching had contributed to a significant degree to elevate the position of women in the contemporary society. Right? Until now, women in India is the lowest, as equal to the low caste. Okay? Their purpose is to serve the men and to produce baby and to take care of the home. Okay? Until today. But there are some changes, but also not really much. Especially women, you need to give dowry to the men, right, in India. So Buddha saw the innate potential of women, whom he called mother folk, Matugama, to play a significant role as character builders for the younger generation. Remember one of the story in the Dhamma that the rich one, I can't remember the wife give birth to a daughter, and then the husband was very frustrated, and Buddha explained to him that the woman is as good as a man in the future. So Buddha sought to bring women out of seclusion to which they were confined by the weight of Brahmic conservatism, so that they could play a more meaningful role in the society. That's why Buddha in that time trying his very best to bring women out from the low caste in the society to equivalent to a man. Example, good example. The establishment of the order of nuns, bhikkhunis, was a bold step taken by the Buddha in recognition of the spiritual potential of women, notwithstanding the prevailing social antipathies towards such a measure. Buddha was one and only one. During that time, the bhikkhuni order was formed. And that's why how Buddhism able to have this nun order. Okay, so you thank Buddha for that. If not, a woman is still behind. Except that, too bad. The bhikkhuni order died after the Buddhism died in India. You know this, you go for degree level to understand how the bhikkhuni order died off in India. Yeah, you better go remember King Pasadandi. Okay. So next one, another typical question in your diploma exam. The uniqueness of Buddha as a religious philosopher. You must know it well also. In a society teeming with numerous divergent religious ideology, some of which have matured over centuries, and having proclaimed a religion which is radically different from the prevailing faiths and cults whose follower became the new disciple of Buddha. So it became a affordable task for the Buddha to maintain a cordial relationship with the contemporary religious group and their leading opponents. Okay? You know, when our Buddha Sangha expand, many of these so-called good example is that the Vedic people, especially the priests, who find that they are losing followers. So these people also join in to the Sangha as new disciple. And then they, if you study the Vinaya, come not to propagate Buddhism, but to make problem into Buddhism. So they import things like soul, all these theory into the Buddhism. So that's why you see changes a lot when Buddha passed away. All these things from the other thing are brought in to the Buddhism. So our Buddha during that time able to suppress all these new ideas which is against Buddhism. That's why Buddha is still able to maintain a good relation with all the others faith. In Brahmajala Sutta, Buddha addressed the monk to not to get upset by other faith who bear ill will. I mean, those who other criticize Buddhism. Towards Buddhism, as any internal disturbance will only cause own harm. So you don't get, when people criticize Buddhism, especially in the modern society like now, especially Christianity, they like to criticize about Buddhism, very negative. Always talk about death. No enjoyment on. Neither is praised by others on Buddhism to be overjoyed. And also that those who praise Buddhism don't be so happy. Thrilled or elated at heart to such remark as will be an obstacle in way of forming realistic judgment. So when people praise you, do not be really thrilled and then make a proud of yourself. Okay? You must be kind of humble. As a quality, praise are actually found in us. Okay? That's why humans like praise. They don't like criticism. So it's a clear indication of Buddha attitude of tolerance and equanimity towards others' comment concerning a Buddha. So our Buddhism, in all ways is tolerance and equanimity. Unlike other religion, they use weapon if they lose the any dispute. So Buddha's teaching and order either in a denunciation or accommodating. So Buddhist is by all means is very accommodating to all kinds of whether criticism or even kind of you can live in peace with Buddhism, unlike other religions which cannot survive without the other disappear. And then Buddha state in the Samyutta Nikaya that the law of conditionality exists at all times, and the Tathagata only discover, comprehend, and teaches, analyze, and clarify. Buddha is not a creator God. He's the one that able to see this Mother Nature law that he discovered and spread it to all who want to listen. Buddha never claimed to be monopoly of truth. Buddha never even claim I am the proprietary or the copyright of this truth. So Buddha cautioned against bigotry, I mean obstinate prejudice and dogmatism. I mean those have already view of what should be the right one. So these are plenty of prejudice in other religion, and also dogmatism. Even our Bali canon, Buddha asks you to judge it yourself. Okay, don't take every word Buddha taught as true. Okay, so he warned the bhikkhus again, exerting the respect of their belief. This alone is true, the rest is fallacy. This is happening in all other religion. My religion is only true, the rest all are false. Okay? Buddha never said that. Buddha, come and see for yourself. Okay? So Buddha encouraged open investigation of his teaching. You can question all the Buddha teaching, and finally, you find no fault with Buddhism, and then you get worried of your own religion. That's what happened with my student and those who I heard from the other faith, Buddhism, even Islam, they come and study this. It's an Islam Muslim one. I don't know about your Malaysia side, but in Singapore, those Islam can study Buddhist. Okay? But they never go for degree under diploma. And then you have those Christian, those not Catholic one, the other one. They also too come and check. Okay? And they found that it's only the religion that encourage openness, and then there's nothing to hide. Okay, so in the end, some of them completed the further education, but most of them, especially there's a Catholic nun I heard from my senior, she gets so questionable that if she continue pursuing the degree, in a matter of time, she'll be converted to Buddhist. So even Catholic nun, they also worry about their own teaching, questionable. Buddhism is open to all. So in the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, Buddha exhorted the Buddhists, the bhikkhus, to accept the truth of a doctrine heard from a source. However, Venerable, only if it conforms to the parameters of Dhamma. Okay, what are the checking of the Dhamma and the Vinaya? So must be checked before you say is true. Okay, the authority of this teaching. And then Buddha did not demand any of disciple to be server, I mean to please him. Loyalty in implicit faith. Okay, even remember a story that one of the, I think the Jains follower, he was impressed by Buddha teaching that he want to distow the Jains master. But Buddha was against him. Say you still need to support the Jains until fully convinced. Then you can join the Buddhism. So in the Vimansaka Sutta, Buddha enjoined the bhikkhus to investigate even Buddha's own accomplishment or enlightenment. So even Buddha who claimed to enlighten can be checked and see whether is he telling the truth. So when Householder Upali, a prominent patron of Nigata, this is the guy, of Nagata Nataputa, being convinced of the truth of Buddha's teaching, sufficate to make a humble request to be a devotee of Buddha. Buddha cautioned him to investigate before taking a decision. Okay? You see how great Buddha is. He, unlike other, welcome, join the order. Okay? No. Buddha asked him to make full consideration before embarking. So another unique feature, Buddha religious mission to the happy balance between the weightage given to spiritual objective and to mundane consideration. Even you want to be a monk, just because of the shock, your peers all join, then you join, become a monk. Then halfway I give up. Okay, these are so-called not perfect for you. So you must make sure whether you want to enjoy the mundane life or spiritual life. Okay, so before you take up the spiritual order, while keeping foremost in spiritual objective and propagating the sublime teaching to the humankind, so as to promote their liberation from the world's existence. Buddha objective, whether you want to pursue your become monk or worldly, you can choose your path, but important thing, you must learn by whatever way to get away from suffering. Okay, you have to end suffering. If no, you will back and back again. And Buddha devoted considerable attention to promote the material welfare of people, which he considered to be an indispensable requisite for spiritual progress if achieved righteously. Okay, you don't need to be a monk. Okay, you can be a lay people, because you hope the lay people will support the monk order, because monk order need the benefit from the lay people in terms of food, lodging, medicine, and whatever. Okay, so you need the lay people. If everybody come monk, then there is no more support from the ground. Buddha, as a religious teacher, avoid action that serve self-gratification. You can never see in any of sutta that Buddha claimed to be, wow, fantastic superhero. He's against this self-gratification. This self-gratification, especially when you see the later sutta, is because of this monk or later this devotee, which make Buddha become a superhuman. Okay, so Buddha is against self-gratification. He reduced the image to a non-entity and highlight the simplicity of his teaching. Okay, so during the Buddha time, you don't even have Buddha image. Okay, you will see in the robes, his arms bow and his robe. Okay, that's why after Buddha passed away, this human always a lot of problem. So they must think of having an image so they can see Buddha at all time. So that's why during the time is towards the Mahayana. So this image was created by the Greek sculptor. And then from there onwards, Buddha image start to be propagating everywhere. So Buddha practiced what he preached and preached what he practiced. That's a very important. He practiced what he preached and practiced what he practiced. Preach what he practiced. Okay, this is basically you can never find in other teachers. Buddha played a role as a conciliator of political dispute. He even posed as a something like when there's countries, this small country among India, they fight each other, they will ask for Buddha help. So Buddha, in order to avoid all this bloody war, he would, by the word, he tried to pacify them. So he's a pacifier of wars, a promoter of conjugal harmony, equalizer of social disparity, and a sedator of social turmoil. As long as Buddha is around, he will help to maintain peace and harmony among each other. He wouldn't like to see bloodshed. Okay, that's all for today. So, tutorial question. How many of you here? Sumeta, how
Okay,
many?
there are
All in?
three.
Hello?
Brother Ko, Sister Chai Hun and I.
Sister Pei Ling not here.
Sister Pei Ling maybe
most probably.
after ESCO meeting. No, not ESCO meeting. Today got Sangika Dana.
Okay, so
Maybe still busy with the after. Don't know lah. I'm not sure.
okay, so you all need to help out. So tutorial question I assigned to you all. 2 each.
Wow, brother, now two
I give you first one. Identify the special quality, ability, attitudes that contribute to make the Buddha a great teacher.
Okay.
Brother Go, second one. Discuss the role Buddha as social reformer. This is a typical question set. Okay. Brother Go. And third one, Sister Sumeta. Identify the supernatural intellectual powers of the Buddha. Okay, supernatural intellectual power of the Buddha. Okay. Fifth one, Brother Go did previously. So fourth one, Sister Teo, you do fifth one. Indicate how the ministry of Buddhas to elevate the status of women in society. Okay, Sister Teo.
Okay.
And
Okay. All right.
Brother Go, number 4. What lesson can you draw from the life of Buddha to achieve efficiency in the management of your daily affair? This one you have to think. Okay, Brother Go.
Okay.
Then Sister Sumeta, 6. What was the attitude of Buddha to the social institution of caste, on the caste system?
Yeah. So question number 1
One,
and question number
Sister
5
Teo.
will be Sister Chai Hun, right? 1 and 5
And
Chai
2
Hun.
is Brother Ko. Third one
2,
is Sumeta.
uh,
Fourth one, Brother
Brother
Ko.
Ko. The last
Fifth
one,
one, Sister Teo. And sixth one, you lah, Sumeta.
Okay, thank you. So I take note of that.
Okay, and
I'll
take all
show
your
in
time
the-
to do research or all. I think all in your notes.